So last night, after seeing The Big Sick the day before, last night I went and saw War for the Planet of the Apes. This is a movie that, like I said, I would have gone seen first if I didn't know Big Sick was coming out. This is a movie I was just generally looking forward to, wanting to see anyways, even if it hadn't gotten well received as it's been getting. War for the Planet of the Apes I'm talking about. I've loved the other two films leading up into this, Dawn and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I thought they were both fantastic movies. And this is coming from somebody that never grew up a fan of the Planet of the Apes films, but those films kind of brought my interest back, or like kind of got my interest into those films again. I've watched Planet of the Apes movies. I just a casual fan, just watched them. Didn't really care that much for them, but I thought they were fine. I appreciate the hell out of the original Planet of the Apes, like every movie fan does, movie buff does. It's a pretty quintessential, important film of that era. And like I said, I was really looking forward to this. This has been getting really well received, and up to before I seen this movie, I was hearing extremely good things. I even was hearing from people that didn't like the other two movies, the other Rise and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, who didn't like those movies, that really fucking loved this one. Said this was one of the best films of the year. I'm like, wow. Even I was like, damn, man, that's saying something when people that didn't care too much for the first two really like this one. I'm like, all right, I'm kind of now I only saw one bad review for it, but I was like, it's coming from a guy who usually doesn't like movies, but from people that usually I trust on their opinions on movies, they were pretty much raving about how awesome this movie was. And yeah, it's really good. It's really, really fucking good. I'd probably say, yeah, this is the best one out of the whole three. I had to think about it. I had to sleep on it a little bit, but I was like, yeah, I would say this is the best out of the three. It's weird, the fact that, honestly, this is the first trilogy I have ever seen, ever, and this, I think, has been pointed out by a lot of critics, where the movies got better as every movie, with every freaking movie. The first one was good, second one was better, the third one was even fucking better than the other two. That's very rare. When it's usually a rule that you have the first two movies being really good and then the third one sucks, but no, these are all they got better as the movies got along. That is rare. I can't think of another trilogy that fucking did that, and I give props to this. It's like breaking that curse for movie trilogies. This is the movie that did it. Awesome. This is a really good movie. This is a really damn good movie. It's a movie as a movie buff, I can fucking appreciate nonstop. The performances, the other ones, are freaking fantastic. Andy Serkis, can we just give this motherfucker an Oscar by now? Seriously, can we just get this guy an Oscar? Get him a nomination or something. This guy is acting his ass off with these films, and some of my favorite footage of these movies is not even an actual movie. It's him just going around like a crazy person in this motion capture suit, acting out these roles, and he is Caesar, period. You see his facial expressions and everything in the character. He is not physically on screen, but he is Caesar. There's no fucking doubt. They made this ape look kind of like a ape version of Andy Serkis. I've said this before, and without him, this performance wouldn't be as great as it is. And I don't understand why they I understand because he's not a physical actor on screen. I think that's where it's kind of getting iffy. But they gotta make an exception someday. This guy, his work is stunning. and his performance in this movie is fantastic. Like, the story arc of Caesar in these 3 films is just fantastic. Like, he has like a certain set of morals that that is well established from the first movie on, and in this movie, his morals and his moral code, is pretty much tested and almost broken, because I'm going to get into spoilers, but this happens in the first 20 minutes, so it's nothing really too major spoiler, but he has to kind of go against this code when Woody Harrelson's character kills his wife and son, and all he has is luckily his infant child, but he is hell bent on, he like becomes the Punisher version he's the ape version of the Punisher, basically in this movie. He's full hell bent on fucking killing this dude. Like, he goes against every code that he stood for, and it's like a movie that shows like even during war the best of people can turn bad, and it's one of those kinds of movies and one of those kinds of roles, and like, he's really good in this fucking movie. Like, Andy Serkis, goddamn, get this guy a goddamn Oscar, right? Please. Seriously. Like I said, the story arc, like I said, it's really good. Like, I love the story arc of Caesar's character, like, as we followed throughout these 3 films. It's really well done, and it has a really great payoff to his character by the end of this movie. Really beautiful payoff. Like, it just is really well done. Really good conclusion to his character. Like he's still feeling the effects of the last movie with Koba, and he's kind of being haunted by his ghost whenever he does something horrible, or does something reprehensible that was against his code. The spirit of Koba ends up coming to haunt him, which I find it kind of interesting. Then Woody Harrelson also, Jesus Christ, he's awesome in this movie. As soon as I saw that he was going to be in this movie, and it looked like it was going to be crazy Woody Harrelson as the villain, I was like, fuck yeah. That's basically what we get. He's not in the movie that much, really, but when he's in it, holy shit, he's awesome. And he is crazy Woody Harrelson. He is fucking a despicable colonel. Is just hell bent on annihilating all these apes and wiping them from the earth. But you kind of get a good backstory as to why he is doing what he's doing. They give him a good backstory, and he kind of becomes a 3-dimensional character. And even his fucking the conclusion to his storyline is really good. Like, the final scene between him and Caesar's, is heartbreaking, and also something else to watch. It's a scene that's done with very little dialogue, which a lot of this movie is, and it's really good. It's like really beautiful. Honestly, this probably could get. I know I have high expectations of Oscars, and I always get duped, but this should get some Best Picture nominations too. Goddamn. Some of the best scenes I've seen all year came from this movie. Jesus. Like I said, that scene with him and the conclusion to the storyline between him and Caesar is really good. I really love that scene. I'm not gonna spoil it, of course. This movie is first and foremost really goddamn ambitious, to say the least, and pretty goddamn risky. I don't know if that risk ended up paying off, though, because I saw it before I went to the theaters. This movie isn't doing very well at the box office, which I was very fucking surprised by. That really disappointed me, because the other 2 did really well, and this one didn't. And this one's getting really well received, and I was like, why the hell are people not churning out to this one? Um, and like I've heard people say that the advertising for this movie was really misleading, and I actually kind of agree with that. Because it makes it more like it's like really war, like a movie about the giant war battle. It's between the apes and the humans, and it really isn't. Like there's a whole. I remember seeing one of the trailers where it shows like a whole fucking what looks like a battle between the apes and the humans, like who have machine guns and are basically mowing them down. That's not what happens in that scene. That scene makes that trailer made it look like it was the apes they were fighting. No, it's actually other humans. I'll get into that in a second. But it's like, what the hell? This movie is ambitious. What I mean, this movie is ambitious. I mean, half this movie, they did what I said they probably should have done. I think I said in this my review for the second movie, I said the most interesting part. This is a criticism I always heard about these movies, is that from people that didn't like it, is that the human characters are always the most least interesting. A lot of people always say that, and the most interesting parts of this movie, people always say, is the parts with the apes. And this whole movie, 98% of this movie, more than any of the other movies, is focused on the apes. Barely any humans in this thing, other than when it gets to like the camp. For about an hour of this movie, the first hour of this movie is done with very minimal dialogue. Mostly just spoken by Caesar, and that's about it. And it's really goddamn good. It's like really good. Like 98%. It's just fucking like I said with the apes, and it's really good. It's like it's stunning. Like it's ambitious, and it was a risky take, like risky thing for them to do, for a majority of this movie to be not really about the humans, more about the apes, which was what it should be. Man, that was. Whew. So this was a really. I really liked this movie. The animation, that fucking stop, or that motion capture animation, like it's as the movies have gotten better with each film, the fucking animation in this movie has gotten better with each film. If you watch the first one, there's some very questionable animation in that fucking thing it was like, yeah, but this one, holy shit. There are times where you could tell me that's a fucking real ape, and I would believe you. Like, especially that orangutan. People have pointed out about that orangutan. That is seriously insane. Like what they did with that orangutan. There was only one character I was kind of like a little iffy on, which was that comic relief character that pops up midway for the movie. He's like bald and everything else, and he kind of did look a little too cartoonish sometimes, but he was not as bad as when I first saw images of him online. I was like, ugh, that doesn't look good. But it's done fine. But goddamn, that technology is something else. Pretty soon, we're just not going to have actors on film anymore. It's just going to be fucking all. Oh god, I hope that never happens. I hope that that never happens, because God, Hollywood will fuck that up badly. Man, this was a good movie. This movie's also had some funny moments. One of my favorite moments of this whole fucking franchise happened in this movie. And it's a scene that I can see some people hating, but this scene was so random, but it was hilarious. Okay, so part of this movie is like a prison break movie, as they're trying to break, like, kind of get the spoilers, but they kind of get trapped by the humans and are put in this like imprisonment camp. And so they're trying to escape this imprisonment camp, and in order to do that, they have to kind of cause a distraction. So one of the apes decides to start flinging poo at the guards. One of the guards. I am not fucking kidding. It's a recurring like scene that it just keeps flinging poo at him. Like, who the fuck's flinging poo at me? It's hilarious. I died. Like, I couldn't stop laughing at that scene. I'm like, what the hell? That was something else I've never fucking seen. I was like, that was kind of hilarious. I was like, that was really funny. One thing also I really was happy about, like, I was worried because I knew this was the last film of the prequel films of the Planet of the Apes, so I was worried going in that like it was going to tie into the original somehow, like at the very end, because like the end of this movie, like okay, why like the end of this movie had me really worried because it ended on a beautiful scene, like really great shot, really great scene that like ended beautifully how it ended, and it pans up to the sky, and I'm like, oh my god, they're not going to do it. Please don't do it. I was like, are they going to have like they're going to pan up to the sky, and there's going to be a spaceship falling, and then it's going to be the beginning of the first Planet of the Apes? No, it doesn't do that, thank God. Which it wouldn't make sense in the fucking context between the timeline. It would have not made any sense. So I'm like, yeah, like I was glad they didn't do that. Thank you, Hollywood, for resisting the urge to do that. Yeah. Or like putting like a weird CGI Charlton Heston popping up or something. God, oh God. Thank God that didn't happen. I swear to God, if there's like a deleted scene where they did that, I'll fucking throw something at people. I will quit. Oh God, that would have been. I could just see them fucking doing that. Between them, they did fucking the Rogue One. Carrie Fisher and Mark or what the hell, Peter Cushing. I mean, Peter Cushing, his character. So yeah, like I said, I recommend this movie a lot. Especially if you like the other ones, this is a really good movie. A really beautifully shot movie. Don't really need to see it in 3D. The 3D was fucking useless. I saw it in 3D. It was really useless. I was like, man, it's wasted $15 seeing that in 3D. Because it doesn't need to be in 3D. It's one of those movies that's like, it didn't need, like most movies right now are, there's no point in them being in 3D other than just to add the prices, raise the prices, I guess. Yeah, as far as trailers, I only got one new trailer. I got a lot of trailers I've got a lot over the past few months. A lot of the same ones like Daddy's Home 2. God damn, I keep getting that trailer every fucking time I'm in the movie theater. Probably until December I might get it. But I got a trailer for Detroit. I've seen a lot of commercials for it. I really hadn't been paying attention to what it was about. Just briefly, I knew what it was about. It's Catherine Bigelow doing a movie about the Detroit riots that happened in the 1960s. That looks fucking really intense as hell. Catherine Bigelow making a movie about that, I was like, that should be good. That should be really good. That woman knows how to make a fucking good, intense action movie. I'm really looking forward to that. So that should be good. That's as far as War of the Planet of the Apes, and trailers. Go see both Big Sick and War for Planet of the Apes. Highly recommend both movies. Probably gonna make easily, definitely Big Sick. I definitely probably see War for Planet of the Apes making my top 10 list too. You know, who knows? But yeah, I'll be back next week. What is next week? You got Dunkirk, Girls' Night, which I hear apparently is getting good reviews, and Valerian, which I've actually gotten a couple requests to do. So until then, I'll talk to you guys later.